It had begun as a normal Wednesday, but Jim Jones was pacing his tiny apartment. His heart pounding with an unusual vigor, and the air was infused with an unshakable sense of unease, just like his girlfriend. While at her friend's house, Chrissy was enjoying the warmth of laughter and carefree conversation. The afternoon light dancing through the window made her feel alive and free from the weight of her path. But she couldn't help but notice that the man she once knew was so ordinary. They had shared passionate moments that left him breathless, but lately, the distance between them made his skin crawl. A friend's message sent her a message that said, "Loved so deeply held a pull, but even with my best efforts, he was shaken, off as the sunset bathed the sky in flaming hues." Jim felt a chill run down his spine when his phone chimed ominously, alerting him that Common was returning to town. When Jim got into his car, he thought about how Chrissy would react when he surprised her and how her eyes would light up, but as he drove, his joy turned to fear. A rush of heat washed over his face, and he dismissed the message, feeling futile uncertainty seeping into his heart like poison fed by a sudden urgency to face the truth. Fear struck as he spotted a familiar car parked, but he took a deep breath, swung the door open, and saw that Common's car was there. His fists tightened, and the laughing inside seemed like a cruel slap in the gut. Echo with Chrissy and Common sprawled out on the couch, laughing excessively and displaying low-key, damaging intimacy through their body language. Jim's voice thundered, "What the hell is going on here?" Chrissy's head whipped across her face, depriving it of color as she wriggled to sit up. Jim shouted, "Every time you said you were done with him, and I'm not even sure where to start." An ordinary sentence full of treachery caused him to stand up. His visage's hands were raised defensively, showing a mix of annoyance and surprise. "There's more to this than meets the eye," Genman says. "Put your words away. I don't want to hear your pathetic explanations." Jim remarked that there was a palpably heated atmosphere as he approached, the air igniting with tension and the room becoming chilly. Chrissy's eyes flashed with anger, fear, and regret. "I can see that I wasn't sneaking around because you've been lying to me behind my back, Jim. But if you could just let me clarify what he said, it would make sense." "Chrissy," she sobbed, her voice trembling. The door slammed behind him, evoking the finality of their broken trust. Outside, the cool night air hit him like a rush of adrenaline, leaving him breathless as the chaos of emotions crashed over him. Jim sneered, his incredulity evident. "You know this is talking tangled up with him like you never left." As he turned to storm out, he felt a piece of himself break the laughter that had filled the room. A punchline to a joke, he hadn't wanted to be a part of that too. His chest grew heavy with treachery and a powerful need for clarifications. The answer felt as elusive as the night itself. And Jim realized that this was only the beginning and that there were many dark and illuminating possibilities ahead. The journey ahead promised to be anything but easy as he made his way through the city streets, where he had to face the dangerous emergency room of the past and the raw, searing truth about love and betrayal. The modern restaurant was bustling, with laughter and clinking glasses as the sun sank low over New York City, giving the busy streets below a golden tint. Things were going to drastically change at one table, resembling a mix of resolve and frustration. After experiencing their fair share of ups and downs, Chrissy Lampkin, who was seated across from Jim Jones, was no longer the same. Their conversation revealed that the tension between Chrissy and Jim's mother had reached a breaking point. "Jim, we need to discuss your mother in a composed but passionate manner. Chrissy said that she treats me disrespectfully at all times. Therefore, I can't continue to behave as though nothing is wrong. Since she's my mother, you must see her perspective." Jim sighed and rubbed his neck, saying, "You can't keep coming up with reasons for your mother, since it goes beyond just how she handles me." The air crackled with unresolved feelings as Chrissy's eyes flashed to a text message from Jim's phone buzzing on the table. Jim's expression grew stern when his mother released a barrage of taunts. "She's messaging me right now, claiming that you're causing problems in our family, which is insane. All I want to do is be involved in your life, but your mother won't allow me to speak for Chrissy." Before Chrissy could respond, Rose at an adjacent table turned to listen, and a figure materialized at their table's side. Jim became irritated, since it felt like you were constantly at her throat. "Maybe if you just tried to comprehend her, not tired of your rudeness, you think you can just come in here and take my son away from me?" Jim's mother shouted, her eyes flaming with Christine. The tension broke like a TT string. When the situation became unmanageable, Chrissy retaliated. Chrissy's words lingered in the air like a challenge. You're going to let her talk to me like that? I'm not trying to take him away, but you need to respect me. Jim stood up to try to defuse the situation. Jim twisted his face in conflict as the weight of his mother's adoration pulled at him. But when Chrissy was finished, she leaped from her chair, her anger blazing like a fire because you allowed her to take charge while everything was in chaos during his hottest moment. This is the reason we can't collaborate. As Jim attempted to stop Chris from leaving Rage Restaurant in silence, the glass broke, and he shocked the entire room by slapping her cheek. Jim's eyes widened in horror as he realized what he had just done, and his heart began to race. Is this you? You chose her over me, Chrissy said, her eyes welling with tears as she stood there, her face alternating between frozen sorrow and furious determination. When Jim understood how much his actions had cost him, his heart fell, and Chrissy turned on her heel and walked away. Backstage at the 2019 Dusapalooza at Barclays Center in New York City on December 13th. Jim was standing there when she interrupted him, saying calmly, "Jim, you need to figure out what you want, because I won't be part of a love triangle with your mother." His surroundings were silenced in the restaurant. And the truth of loyalty, treachery, and the recent events all combined to make Dan very angry when Chrissy got down on one knee. Jim knew that everything was about to change, and his heart was raised as he realized that this was a crucial moment. 2019 image taken by Johnny Neuer, even though Chris Lampkin and Jim Jones were together for 18 years at the time. It must end eventually. In a family reunion on VH1's third season of Love and Hip Hop Edition, Chrissy Layman tells Jim Jones that by 2021, he appears to be over the idea of marriage. She abruptly says no, adding, "You want me to be this loving, crazy cook, this and that, and the other, but you come home and you're mean, and you're cold, and you're distant." The couple had a heated argument during which Jones confessed his wrongdoings because he was afraid of marriage. "Since my family has always been male, all I know to do is try to assist and attempt to generate revenue." In a recent episode of Love and Hip Hop, Chrissy asserted, "I don't want you to think I'm selfish in any way because I love you more than I could love anything in this world. Things in New York have to end." Chrissy Lampkin finally discussed the reasons behind her and Jim's long engagement in the most recent episode. She mentioned that she had returned to the show after nearly 7 years and that the producers had first contacted her to get her back because they wanted to get back to the program's core while reflecting on her relationship. Chrissy stated, the relationship is going well. People move at different speeds, which is why I'm here since I've decided I don't want to go through a divorce. I thought marriage was the natural progression, but it's not for everyone. We're good right now." The couple has faced several obstacles in their relationship, which Chrissy openly discussed in 2016. She gave an explanation for her decision to stay engaged to her, and fans said that she didn't see the purpose in getting married until either of them was completely ready. In one particularly memorable episode, Chrissy moved from New York to Miami to live with Jimmy, which many fans believe marked a turning point in their relationship. Their bond has been a big part of love and friendship. Season 10 will air on VAJ on December 16th. Despite this grand gesture, Jim chose not to marry Chrissy, which left fans wondering about their relationship's future and what exactly makes them a couple. Jim put everything on the line and asked Kra to marry him in Miami, hoping to make up for what many perceived as his previous lack of commitment. Their devotion to one another was the true test of their love, which, as time passes, the public is captivated by their story and eagerly awaits updates and insights into their relationship. Their journey highlights universal themes of love, commitment, and personal growth that many can relate to. And as Christian and Jim continue to chart their course, they serve as a reminder that relationships are not just about reaching a destination, but also about the experiences and transformations that they undergo. They have demonstrated that this is true regardless of whether it complies with social norms in an environment where expectations are high. Happen as they both embrace this new chapter, and we hope for a future full of clarity, understanding, and happiness in whatever form it takes. It's important to remember what makes people happy and fulfilled, whether they choose to walk down the aisle or stay where they are after years of dating and sharing experiences. Some couples never make it to the altar, and that's totally okay. What matters most is finding peace and fulfillment, whether you find it together or apart. As Chrissy and Jim navigate this new chapter, the world watches, hoping for clarity and understanding. Because the love journey is rarely linear, for as the days pass, the dynamics of their relationship are continuously changing, revealing the highs and lows that come with love. Every interaction and public appearance adds a new dimension to the story they are writing together. But there is also tension with AMA sometimes. The most important thing is to follow their journey, because ECT is simply being true to oneself, while navigating the complexities of partnership, happiness for both of them, regardless of the final course they decide to take. Jones serves as a constant reminder of the value of family and social relationships, and the difficulties in raising them. At sometimes the water's depths can be incapacitating. As they reflect on their time together, Jim and Chrissy may also be considering what they truly want for their future as a couple. As individuals, conversations about marriage frequently reflect broader societal expectations. And it's clear that Chrissy and Jim are navigating these expectations in their own unique ways. Jim and Chrissy have both grown personally over the years, learning from their setbacks and victories, not only about love, but also about respect, understanding, and communication, making it difficult to consistently choose what is best for them based on personal preference or readiness.